guys, and welcome to my very late wrap-up for the Bout books Read-A-Thon. I managed to read 6 books along with 150 pages of the end of one book and 200 pages of another book. I'm just gonna go quickly and show you guys the books that I managed to read for this Read-A-Thon. Riptide by Lindsay Sheep. This book was pretty short. It was not just a fluffy summer read, and I loved it and I gave it 5 stars. Don't Breathe a Word by Holly Coppola. This was a pretty intense contemporary book. It was part of my book in the jar, the first one that I had to read, and I managed to read it and I'm so happy that I read it, and I gave it 4 stars. Fever by Lauren DeStefano. This was a bit of a disappointment for me, but I'm glad that I managed to read it because I ended up reading Sever by Lauren DeStefano. This book broke my heart. I was bawling so much by the end of this book, and the last 50 pages I was just thinking, oh my god, this book, the last 50 pages are pointless. I just don't want to continue reading. I'm never gonna trust Lauren DeStefano again, ever again. And I gave it 3.5 because the book was enjoyable. However, that ending was just unsatisfactory to the extreme. I also read Starcursed by Jessica Spotswood, the sequel to Born Wicked, and this book was so good. I managed to read it in a single day, and I love witches, I love Jessica Spotswood, I love this trilogy, the Cahill Witch Chronicles. I guess it's a trilogy. And I liked it way more than Born Wicked, and I think I gave it 4.5 or 5 stars, not sure. The last book that I read completely was Faking It by Cora Carmack, which is sort of like a companion novel to Losing It. Honestly, I did not love it as much as Losing It. I gave Losing It 5 stars, but for Faking It, I gave it 3.5 stars. Now, for the last 2 books, they're actually books that I managed to read a couple of 100 pages from them. The first is Cinder by Marissa Mayer. At the beginning of the read-a-thon, I was already almost two-thirds of the way in, so I only had around 150 pages left, and I managed to read that. This book was so good. The ending just killed me, and I can't wait to pick up Scarlet next. The last book is actually Game Board of the Gods, and the read-a-thon ended while I was still reading this book. I was 200 pages in when the read-a-thon ended, and honestly, this book is it's such a disappointment because it's very, very slow. Like, think about when the read-a-thon ended, and right now I'm at 250 pages, so I only managed to read 50 pages for the past couple of days because while I was in the middle of reading it, I stopped it and I read Faking It because I just grew bored of this book. Right now I'm contemplating whether I should DNF it or not because, I mean, everyone loves Rochelle Mead, but I don't know, this book just is not appealing to me. It's a very slow book, but I don't like DNFing books, so I'm hoping that I'll make it through and finish reading it, though it's not really going to get that good of a rating. So this has been a very successful read-a-thon. I managed to read around 7.5 books, which was pretty fantastic. And I'm definitely going to be participating in any upcoming read-a-thons if I have the time. So link me below to any of your own wrap-ups for this read-a-thon or just blog posts, because I'd love to see them. And till the next video, bye guys!